books look boring. I don't see anything I want to read.
I know, look at this one. What's a Skellig anyway?
Why don't you read it and find out?
What if it's not any good?
We'll never know till you read it, will you?
Nah, I'd rather play games or watch TV.
Hang on, before you give up, let me show you something that might change your mind about this book. Okay? So, have either one of you ever heard of book talks?
No.
Book talks are like movie trailers. They give you an idea of what a book is about without actually giving too much away. I actually made one for this book. You want to see it?
Sure.
If you like a mystery and you like strange types of beings, you will love this book. What kind of being comes to mind when you hear the word Skellig? Could it be part man, bird, or angel? If you saw this creature, what would you do? Why does he live in this run-down, dilapidated shack? And why does he regurgitate his food like a bird? To read what the main character Michael thought, you have to read Skellig by David Allman. This book can be found in the fiction section of our library.
Actually, it looks like a good book.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Hey, I was going to check it out.
Hey, both of you can check it out. I got 2 copies.
Do you have any more of those movie trailer book things?
I do. I have a few more, and I hope they'll get students reading. Hey, would you guys like to help me make some more book talks?
Sure, but how do you make them?
First, you have to read a book, and then you need to write a teaser. And you need to put enough in the teaser to make people want to read the book, but not tell them too much about the book, so they'll want to read it themselves. Then you can get creative and find things on the internet and put it all together in Photo Story 3. You think you can do that?
Sure.
Sure. Can we see another book talk first?
Yeah, let's try this one.
When Bod's family is killed by an assassin, he takes refuge in an old graveyard near his home. The deceased residents who live there adopt him and teach him all the things that dead people know. For Bod, safety is inside the graveyard. Outside is danger. But Bod is curious, and growing up, can he learn all the skills he will need to not only live beyond the fence of the graveyard, but survive the evil that drove him to seek refuge there in the first place? To find out Bod's fate, read Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. You can find it in the fiction section of our library.
Oh, I'm definitely going to check that one out.
Well, since it looks like you're going to be busy reading all these books, maybe you ought to do your first book talk on a book that you've already read.
Ooh, I'm going to do mine on the Hunger Games.
I'll do mine as life this one today.
Awesome. So put those together and come back and show them to me next week. Hey, ladies. Did you finish your book talks?
Yep, they're both on here.
Cool. Let's see what you came up with.
The United States is no more than a distant memory. Drought, famine, and war have put an end to the once great country. And now the people of Panem are divided into 12 districts. Each year, a teenage boy and girl are chosen from each district to fight to the death in the Hunger Games. The games are televised and everyone in the districts are required to watch. This year, 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen is one of the representatives for her district to compete and try to survive. To find out if Katniss survives, read The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. It can be found in the fiction section of our library.
Wow, that was great. You made me want to read that book again. Let's look at yours, Ashley.
story begins with 16-year-old Miranda writing in her diary about typical high school stuff with a brief mention of an upcoming astrological event. Scientists forecast the day and time a meteor will hit the moon. People plan parties and sit outside to watch the celestial fireworks. The meteor hits with such force that it knocks the moon out of its orbit and closer to Earth. This causes disastrous consequences. The moon affects the tides, and now sea levels rise and wipe out coastal cities around the world. Miranda's mother goes into action immediately and stockpiles as much food and supplies as she can. Things keep getting worse as the moon's gravitational pull pulls magma to the surface from deep inside the Earth, and many volcanoes erupt, changing weather patterns around the globe. Miranda, her mom, and two brothers try to find a way to survive in this new world. There are no fairy tale endings here, and life will never be the same for anyone who does survive. Read Life as We Knew It by Suzanne Pfeffer. It can be found in the fiction section of our library.
Wow, I'm so impressed. I'm definitely adding both of these book talks to my page. So do you think book talks will help inspire other students to read?
Definitely.
I think they would like to help them make them too. I know I'd like to make another one, but first I need to pick out a good book to read.
Me too.
That's what I like to hear.